Hey, hey, look, I gotta thank God without bro, I wouldn't be. I started with a half, now I keep a couple piece. I'm in preparation, prevents for performance. Money don't come in trees, but trust I keep a forest. Yeah,
Well, the poorest. What's your excuse?
in my daily commute. East,
North side to west.
if I make it back from Cali, thank God, cause I'm blessed. Here I never got caught. Dog, I never broke laws. Some motherfuckers just running their jaws. That's what you heard about me. Well, you couldn't see. With disrespect, dog, not me. I'm from California, hey. At the end of the day, bags, late rags, fuck minimum wage. I grew up a bastard. It's only right. I'm a rapper. Was always good with mathematics. It's only right. I'll track it. I made it out the slums. I'm from a city now where you gotta keep guns. That's Phoenix, dog. The meanest weapon hotter than the sun. And I ain't the only one, dog. We all got clip. But my clip don't jam. It's that rush and sleep. 47 just to rush to bits. Fail. I ain't talking about hoes. I made my first hit. Ran off some cookies and bones, nigga.
With the cookies and balls, I have my little nigga coming up your house with some balls. Pull up with the members and you know it's the go. You better not play with it, bro. Have niggas where they should go. She keep talking about a nigga, but she know we a hoe. One false move and you know we on froze. Race not to fold. No, this ain't nothing I told. AK with the stick and it came from Big Bro. We get it in by the know. Yeah, that's all that we know. I gotta do whatever it takes to get my mama home.
Yup. That's how we doing it today, y'all. That's how we doing it. What's good? What's good? What's good? Excuse me there. What's good, y'all? You already know it's your boy Suave Flex, man. Coming live with the Splash Bros. Let me get some light up in here right quick. Make it bright and shiny in here. Bright and shiny. If y'all could see me, that's perfect. If y'all could see the charts, even better. All right. That's exactly what we're here for. Welcome to the Sunday night. All right. Every Sunday we're here, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. We're doing a call. All right. Now we have been a full year longer now. All right. A year and a couple months that we have been structuring out TSQ, calling out TSQ, and using this strategy. One, we call out our scalps, swings, whatever it may be. All right. So when we're taking a look at TSQ, you guys already know. All right. We're talking about these orange lines. When we first look at TSQ, we're looking at trend, structure, and quarter level. Okay, so the first one is what? Trend. And typically, if you're just looking at the, what I had just posted, we start with the 4 hour chart. Okay. And now with these 4 hour charts, you see that you see all these orange lines, and don't let that confuse you. Don't get scared. Um, Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah. See, my son has my phone, and that's the problem because it's a good trade right now. I was waiting for it to cross down. Finally did what I wanted it to do, but we'll get to that in a little bit. All right. So let me take off these indicators right quick. That way you guys could see a clear screen. I I did something a little bit different. And I'm marking, you could see where you'll see the good hold numbers like 4,700, 4,800, things like that. Where one of my mentors was talking about those in like those particular levels, like the whole number levels like that. Excuse me. The whole numbers like that. That's where gold really likes to respect. Okay, like where it'll genuinely, we'll see these breaks. Boom. This side it broke, came back, retested this area, probably broke through. Okay, what happened right here? Consolidated, consolidated. Even then, if we bring this up, where's 46? Look at that, 4,600, another solid area. Another solid area. Like I said, these areas are these whole number areas where gold really likes to respect. Okay, so getting back to trend, getting back to the 4 hour, we're looking at what? What do you guys see right now? Genuine. What do you see? Uptrend. Okay. Uptrend. And yes, I know we see that gold, the way it opened, and that's why we don't just trade market open. We don't just, oh, let me wait. Boom. Ah, and then boom, the market's already open. All right. And when the market's open, we like to sit on our hands. Let's really figure out what's going on and what happened. It broke through our what? Whole number quarter level. That's 4,700. So we waited for this to break, and now we're waiting for this to close. Okay. So essentially, what we're going to want to see gold do on this uptrend that we're following, because we are in what? Uptrend momentum. We essentially want to see gold come back and retest. It's going to have to retest. Now, this is where we come in. You'll see Joe, you'll see me, Tar, sometimes Bori. We're calling out these trades, okay? And typically they're scalps, 50 to 100 pips, not being greedy. And once we hit 50 pips, we're always telling y'all stop loss break even. So you don't either, you're not losing money, or stop loss and profit where you're making a couple bucks. So either way, it's a win. Okay. The goal is not for you guys to lose. I tell everybody this every time. Let's not be greedy. Why would we want you to lose? When we take these trades, we're either doing an in and out, or we'll tell you, hey, we're going to swing this to the next quarter level. And typically right now in this kind of market condition, we're not catching swings. We're catching some good scalps, okay? And again, in order to catch these trades, all right, we're looking for structure. That brings us to the next step of TSQ. All right, so we figured out what? Trend. Next one is going to be the S, so structure, okay? So Suave, Joe, how do we find this? How do we find structure? How do we find when to enter the trade? So we knew what? TSQ was an uptrend momentum. After that 4-hour candle close, that the first 4-hour candle, as soon as that closed, grain, we knew what? Again, we were in uptrend momentum. So going back to the 30-minute chart, see here. So going back to this 30-minute chart, what do we like to do? We like to what? Respect our quarter levels. So you see these orange lines are going to be our other quarter levels. Again, I said I like to focus on these, these whole numbers, the 47s, the 48s, all these other numbers, because gold likes to respect these. Now, gold also likes to respect our what? Quarter levels. That's why we have them marked up. That's why we're talking about what? TSQ, trend structure, what? Quarter levels. All right. So we found the structure. Okay. We found the structure. We knew that what? Gold, 30 minutes, an hour, boom. So what? This is not until the other hour, the next hour, 30 minutes, 30, boom. And then right when that next hour, that next 4-hour open, which was what? 1800. So around 6 o'clock or seven, yeah, I believe 7 o'clock. All right. Yeah, because that'll be, no, 6 o'clock. I'm sorry, guys. 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, our time, Arizona time. So 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, that 4-hour candle open. The next one from market open till 6 p.m. That new candle open, and then you've seen right here. You've seen the break through the 47 quarter level. Once we saw this break, we already knew, guys. We already knew that we are in what? Uptrend momentum. So might as well take that risk, because if we're following TSQ, we know we could have caught the trade right here. We could have caught the trade right here and right here. Okay. Both times. And to put it in smaller perspective, if you want to be able to take these trades correctly, and you want to be able to, get a sniper, a quote unquote sniper trade, having a fire entry right here. Look at that. When it broke the quarter level, what happened? It broke the quarter level, what we teach. So let's wait. We want to find that trend, because we already knew we were in uptrend. Then we wait for this quarter level to break. Let it retest, because it's always gold likes to respect. Gold's like, hold up, let me just make sure I want to go. I actually want to go up. Let me just make sure. So it gives us this red candle, respects our quarter level. Anything below that, if it would have broke through and then obviously stayed below the 46.75, then we know, okay, shit, not going up. She's probably going to come back down a little bit more. Okay. And then that's when we find key levels, all that. But right now I'm teaching you guys TSQ. Okay. So just to make it very, very easy for you guys to, be confident in taking a trade tonight by yourself. Because sometimes me and Joe or the chat's not always there. We're not always sending out charts. This is a lifetime access opportunity where you get every Sunday call for free. Not only that, you're in our Discord where when we are sending out good trades, they're going to hit for you. Okay. And you're making money. Obviously, again, nobody's perfect. Okay, guys, I'm going to be real. These markets can get very, very wicked sometimes, but in the end, 5 minute chart. Okay. Because I said put it into to a smaller perspective. If you want to quote unquote have these sniper trades, sniper entries, you can find them in the smaller time frames. Again, quarter level broke, retested, and then we saw the what? Continuation to the upside. Why? Because we're following our what? Trend, structure, quarter levels. We're following the trend. The trend is your friend. Remember that. The trend is your friend. So, all right, we talked about that. Now, obviously, you guys got on this call. Some people got on this call to learn. Some people got on this call to what? Find the next trade. When's that next trade going to happen? Right? So that's what we're looking for right now. We see gold. It's 9 o'clock. That's why I like to do this call around 9 o'clock. I feel like, we could see what happens because when market opens, that's the Asian session. Okay, that's Tokyo. That's all that over there. All right, so we know that what we're probably going to see London come in and probably sweep some buyers out. Okay, because we got to think, there's people right here that probably have some stop losses. Gold again needs to retest areas. I'm thinking 4,700 is going to be a good retest where we could see gold kind of just respect this area. Okay. Sorry. Gold is going to respect this area. This is the hour chart though. Okay, guys. And then come right back up. Okay. And then anything below, anything that breaks this area, then yeah, we know that we're in that continuation to go up. But then we're gonna want to see that retest, just like we discussed. Let it break, let it retest, and if you feel confident enough to take that TSQ trade, go to the smaller time frames, because then you'll know, we'll know, you'll know that this trade is not gonna want to hit, just like this. It respected, kept all the way back up. Once we knew that it closed above this quarter level, we knew we could take this to the upside. We knew automatically. And especially after it broke this area right here, I tell Danny this. Shout out to Danny. He's getting it. All right. Looking left to right. He knew that, okay, shit, if it would have broke any of this area right here, Danny would have been in that trade. I know for sure. Danny's like, yeah, I'm going in that shit for sure. And if you would have caught that trade, essentially, even if you caught it late, even if you didn't catch it at the quarter level, even if you caught it late. And again, that's why you want to make sure that the trend is your friend, okay? Because this whole time, 5 minute, even if you go with the 5 minute, we go to the 15 minute. Like the trend was in that direction. We don't want no sluggish stuff like this, something like this, where we don't know what's gonna happen here. I don't think you guys can see that, where we don't know what's gonna happen, okay? Give me one moment, yeah. Somebody. Here. Pressing stuff or what? Okay, here. Here. Do this. Boom. Okay. Perfect. Sorry about that, yeah. I got my son right here. So seeing this right here, it's kind of choppy. We wouldn't know because then you would have got in late and then this thing would have just flooded you, wiped you out. All right, probably hit some stop loss. But that's why we say use proper risk management. Like my brother Joe says, Proper preparation prevents poor performance. If you're prepared and you're ready and you know and you're confident, you're going to be prepared to risk the right reward. Either whether you lose, you take it, and then you could re-enter because you get chances in this kind of skill set. Okay, with this skill set, you get chances with this if you're properly risking your leverage right. For example, if I'm able to, if I know I could risk $20 today, then I'm gonna go on a what? 0.01. Okay. 0.01. I'm not gonna just go risk the whole account. I'm not gonna go in a 0.05 and start risking stuff. Because as soon as I go in a 0.05, and if you're confused on a 0.05, that's 50 cents per pip. So if gold goes down, we'll just say it's at 46.50 and it shot down all the way to 46.45. That's 50 pips. So that's $5, but that's 50 pips right there. You would have lost what? $25. So you went over your risk limit already. 50 pips. You get one chance, basically, is what I'm saying. You only got that one chance, and you didn't even get to risk a full like 100 pips, because typically we'll just say you got in at 46.50. And this is now I'm hypothetically I'm risking properly. I got in at 46.50 and I put a 0.01 instead of the 0.05. Now that I'm putting a 0.01, what is that? That's 10 cents, obviously. All right. Because if I'm risking a 0.05, that's 50. If I'm only risking a 0.01, that's 10. So you do that 5 times, it's 50. All right. Anyways, 46.50 and it dropped down to 46.45. How much is that? It's $5, guys. $5. Because if I risk 50 pips, so 50 points, and I put a 0.01, I'm risking $5. So that gives me what? Room to play with. Because now look at this. I risked $5, okay? Let's just say I got in again. Okay, cool. Fuck, my stop loss hit. Now I got in at 46.50, and I rode this because I know when we teach TSQ, and Joe and CJ teach TSQ, typically gold likes to respect these levels and hit that next quarter level. So what I mean is it'll go from 46.50 to 46.75. Almost 80% of the time. No doubt. As long as the trend is what? Our friend, and we're following that. Okay. So I go in at 46.50, and now this is the winning trade. Let's just say I go for the full 250 pips. I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is going in. Now I just made what? At a 0.01, even again, risking $5. So essentially, let's just say I did lose, I would have what? Lost 10. But now that I won, I made 25. Not only did I get my $5 back that I lost, but I made $20. Proper risk management prevents poor performance. It prevents you from being undisciplined. It prevents you from being upset at trading. It prevents you from, psychologically, thinking that you're not good at this, because everybody could be good at this. Everybody's good at trading. Just comes down to right here. How good can you be mentally up here and say, okay, I could walk away with $5 today? Because sometimes it's not going to be $20. Sometimes it's going to be a $5 trade that you hit, a $10 trade, and you got to be okay because you're following your plan. I know Joe wants to say something. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
And in form of tips, to keep it to where everyone has the right mindset. Jaime, I don't know where you're at right now in your journey. You got to hit us up and give us a update on how you're doing. Danny, you got to give me an update too on where your understanding is. We got Gabriel and KO on the call, so I appreciate you guys. But not only that, I gave a trade last week. I gave 2 trades last week, I believe, and I think both of them hit TP. I don't think I got a stop loss, but trading the quarter levels, and when the market's consolidating the way it is with up and down, up and down, up and down, is it really up? Is it really down? With this type of market condition, you also got to be willing, one, to practice the proper risk management, like CJ's talking about. But then two, taking your small wins and understanding those are actually big. So last week, I took a few trades. I hit a few break evens. I don't think I hit any stop losses. But the thing was, my break evens, man, my break evens just messed it up for me mentally. They didn't mess it up for me because it didn't affect my account negatively. It just messed it up for me. At one point I over traded and then I was able to just get it back to zero and I took it out and I journaled it and I said, okay, whatever. Like even if you lose a even if you don't lose money on a certain entry when you over trade, you got to jot that down because that's not what you're supposed to be doing. So I jotted it down and then I stepped away from it. I didn't give a shit. And then I called out the buy. And CJ had just dropped a sale from one of our other mentors that called a sale. And then Bodie, another person who trades a little bit of the same strategy but has his own as well, called out a sale and said it looked bearish on the 15-minute, which that's cool. It could look bearish on the 15-minute. It could look bearish on the small time frame. But I seen the big time frame 4 hour, which I trust, and it was a retest to a lower zone. And what do you know? It shot up 500 pips. It shot up 500 pips from my entry from 750 all the way, I think, past 800 on Friday, right, Suave?
Yep. That's facts.
500 pips. I gave a trade, 500 pips. So like Suave's talking about, you would have lost $5, made $20. Suave's talking the one trade I gave on Thursday night or Thursday, whatever time it was, hit for 500 pips. That means you would have made $50. You would have made $500 or you would have made 5K, depending on your risk or your size of lots. But the point is, I gave a fire trade. I didn't give a bunch of trades all week. I think I gave two winners had to be over 150 pips because I remember when I dropped the trade Thursday, it hit 150 pips in like 15 minutes. You know what I mean? So sometimes, especially if you're at work, especially if you're like me and you're busy, you cannot overtrade. You have to take your 1, 2, 3 wins in the week and walk away because the second you overtrade, you're going to take an extra loss. What up, Gabriel? I see you in here. Appreciate you, dog. You don't want to overtrade and you have to get over that FOMO. Last week it was good. And then you know what? I saw it rip up. And right after Bodie said, I don't know, it looks bearish, be careful. Even him putting that in there, it made me want to drop some more on the buys. Like, you can't get emotional. It made me want to drop some more on the buys because I felt like I trusted it and it would have just been nice. But you can't let ego or nothing get in your way. You have to just stay disciplined. You have to remember to stay like a robot. So perfect explanation on the call today, CJ, on the 30-minute and the hour. Yes, trend is looking up. But then when we scrunch down the chart, we got to also understand that it's also moving sideways.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's also consolidating on the higher time frames because from Friday to now, it looks more downtrendish when you look left to right.
Yep.
In order to call that bullish, you're kind of stretching it because of the fair value gaps. So it's not necessarily bullish yet right now, just where it's at because of the way it opened. It looks a little bullish, but it could also look bearish. And it could sell off from that key level and go down deeper.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So on the
I
1
agree.
hour and the smaller time frame, it is bullish, yes. But when we look at the 4 hour, the reason why you started off your call with is bullish is just because on the 4 hour, it's been bullish and now it's sideways. It's right there at you feel me? Right there in the middle of a big consolidation zone. 47, I think 47 to 5K is a big consolidation zone. You know what I mean? So until it breaks out of there, you know what I mean? We can't really call continuation because it could crash the same way it's been. And then we see like, look at that fair value gap. You know what I mean? It shot up to it and then now it's rejecting it.
Mm-hmm.
It's nasty. You know what I mean? That's consolidation. But can it? Yes, it could recover right now and go up high. And then you're right. It's bullish. If it went up high right now in this next candle and it stayed up there and then 4 hour takes over, you're 100% correct that it's bullish. But if it doesn't, then it doesn't mean you're wrong that it's not bullish. It just means it's still consolidating. And we got to make sure that we teach everyone who's learning from us, they got to understand what consolidation is and make sure that they're aware on identifying that Because when you look at the 4-hour wicks at the bottom, those are rejection. Those are great supports. Those are where you want to catch your trades. You don't want to catch the trade right now for a buy
Mm-mm.
where the price currently is. You know what I mean? Now, like you said, you want to see price go above that black box that you have and then retest like you've been saying. So that way you have the validation. Even when it's coming out of consolidation, guys, what you guys got to start applying, everyone, myself, everyone, we got to start really paying attention to the rejection wicks and the rejection zones. And wait, be patient. I waited for my 2 trades last week for a minute. And even one trade, bro, it happens. You'll have a good setup. I remember one trade I called last week. I think it took like 12 hours to hit. And when I went back to look at the phone, it hit. And guess what? I didn't leave it. I took a 70 pip TP and it went for like 1,000 pips or something. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is, but beggars can't be choosers. You know what I mean? If, if, if you know what I mean? If that's all you got, bro, you got to be efficient and don't worry about the how much money you make. You got to worry that you're making money weekly, in and out, being consistent and disciplined. Because chasing the profits and chasing the money is always what fucks me. Making money is just always what keeps me cool. Last week I caught 300 pips. It was Gucci. Winning week. No disappointments. Did I overtrade one time last week? Yes, but guess what? It didn't negatively affect me, and I walked away after I did it. So that was even a win for me too. Another pat on my back for like discipline. And you guys got to start patting yourselves on the back and don't compare it to what this person is doing or what that person is doing. You got to always look in the mirror and say, what did I do? Because that's really what's going to save you and take you to the next level with your profitability or with just your execution. But that's all I got to say, Suave. Another great call.
All right. No, I'm good
You know
too.
what I mean?
Yeah, I knew you. Yeah, I was done.
I'm
That's
gonna.
what. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna. I was gonna say I'll do a call going over some trades sometime this week, and then we could also do a call. We could probably do a free call just to show all the new people who are following on the Instagram and stuff, just to show them like for example, we had two new guys, Gabriel and the other homie hop on the call right now. And maybe we could do like a me and you, we could promote it as like a starter kit, like trading pack, like a call, like so they can learn how to download MT5, they can learn all the basic stuffs. Obviously not a strategy, but just like what's going on, just to inform them.
But
So that way, even if they want to do it or not, they're just giving free value. You know what I mean? Putting them on with the free game.
some people don't even know what Robinhood are. So yeah, I feel you.
Exactly.
But hell yeah, brother. No, I
But
appreciate you
that's
for
it for
jumping
me.
in.
I just wanted to say that they have to pay attention and realize, like, especially someone like Danny, he has to be able to look at it right now and say, oh yes, we could force say it's bullish because overall it's bullish, but at the same time he could be patient and wait for a clear indication of if it's bullish or bearish. Because
Mhm.
where it's at, you have to let it break out. You know what I mean? If it goes a little bit higher, then we know we're for sure bullish. If it breaks below that low, we know we're for sure bearish.
And that's what I'm seeing too. Anything below
Exactly.
this 47,
Yep.
probably come back down, sweep people out. Anything below 46.75, we know for sure we're gonna probably continue down. All right.
Yeah. Facts.
So just look out in the chat, y'all. XAU USD chat. If you're in the Instagram, that's because you paid lifetime access, or you know me and Joe, and you've been talking to with us, and you're in that chat. So just look out in either of those chats, or even the iPhone chat too. Um, so just definitely look out, and everything that we send in the iPhone chat. Don't worry, guys. Nothing. You're not missing out on anything. We basically send it out to the iPhone chat, and then we screenshot and send it immediately to the Splash Bros Instagram. All right, and or the Discord. But much love, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and play this song, and we're gonna get out of here, man. Let's get it.
Have a good night, CJ. Have a good night, everyone.
Yes, sir. Everybody have a blessed night. Let's get it.
Thank you guys. You guys have a good night.
Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
G.
Hey, 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 look. I gotta thank God, without bro, I wouldn't be. I started with a half, now I keep a couple piece. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Money don't grow on trees, but trust I keep a forest. And I grew up the poorest, dog, so what's your excuse? I flip bags out the shoe in my daily commute. The south side to the east, dog, the north side to the west. If I make it back from Cali, thank God, cause I'm blessed. Here I never got caught. Dog, I never broke laws. I put those on motherfuckers just for running their jaws. Like what you heard about me? Well, you finna see. I don't play with disrespect, dog. Nah, me.